Hello, and welcome back to the Reiki Gem Wellness channel. My name is Shannon, and I'm a certified Reiki master and teacher and certified gemologist. I combine those skills and passions to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and opportunities to practice incorporating crystal healing into your everyday life. This is an episode that I call Let's Talk Crystals, and it's a casual, conversational episode in which I describe to you how I have used crystals and gemstones in my everyday life situations for that previous week to give you an idea of how you can use them in your own life. Then I answer the most common questions that I get about crystal healing in the comments, in email, on Facebook. I've gathered all of those questions so that I can address them every single week. Today, this week, has been jam-packed. So much has been going on. First, there were 2 hurricanes in the Gulf. And I live in Houston, Texas. They were coming our way. We had to hurricane prep, make sure that our house, our yard was ready, that we had all the supplies that we need, that we had batteries, lanterns, we were prepared for power outages. When you are dealing with potential emergencies and life crises, red jasper is an excellent stone to keep with you, to keep you calm during crisis, to help you settle in the present moment, to figure out what you need to do right now so you're not overwhelmed with the things that need to be done or worry about the possibility of what can happen. It just gets you moving step by step through your response to the crisis. Houston, Texas ended up being not affected at all by both of the hurricanes. However, Louisiana got a little bit battered. That's an opportunity to use some Moldavite to send those areas healing and recuperation and love after such a dramatic impact that they had. I didn't take out my Moldavite to show you because that just occurred to me that was a good situation for that. This week has also been busy with manifestation. And you may wonder, what the heck does that mean? What form does that take? It means that things are starting to appear in your life for you. Opportunities are starting to appear. Things that you have sent out to the universe as an intention, as a desire, things that you want to bring into your life. Well, they're finally coming in. That doesn't always mean that you just sit back and receive it. It means sometimes that then you have more work to do as you process the new things that are coming into your life. Labradorite is a phenomenal stone to help you work through active manifestation in your life. Working with those opportunities that are coming in, with the things that are showing up for you, often mean transition and change, having to change how your life works to accommodate new things. There were also some surprise situations we had to deal with family, and Labradorite helps with those transitions as well. A good week, but really, really busy, and a lot to think about a lot to consider, decisions to make. Labradorite is really, really supportive. I also had to have the confidence to accept these opportunities that were coming my way. To know that I had the experience and ability to put myself out there to do the work to make those opportunities, to solidify them in my life. And I reach for honey calcite whenever I need personal confidence. Citrine also works very well for people, but personally for me, I have more connection with honey calcite when it comes to boosting my confidence and reassuring myself that yes, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. It's okay to step forward and, put that out there. Really busy week. And, we have a family event coming up too. I've had to prepare for that. I think after tomorrow, I can take a breath. I'm hoping that next week will be a little bit smoother so I can breathe, ground myself, and just settle in to those adjustments. Hoping. The question of the week isn't so much a question, but it's a description. It's an explanation of how something is done. I've gotten a lot of requests for this. I mentioned it in a previous video, got a lot of good response to that. And it is, how do you meditate to receive guidance? Either from your spirit guides, angel guides, the universe, your higher self, inner wisdom, collective unconscious, any source in which you would like to receive guidance. How do you do that? It's less of a how and more of a study of yourself. And I'll explain that. I'm going to go into in-depth explanation about this because tomorrow I'll be posting a guided meditation to help you through this process if you have a decision or a life situation that you want higher guidance or you want your own inner wisdom to inform you about it. Then I'm going to give you all of the kind of explanation here. Then tomorrow during that guided meditation, you can use a crystal gemstone of your choice and sit to practice it. So I mentioned this is a study of yourself and what it feels like when you are actively thinking, when you are actively trying to figure something out. Observe yourself and how your brain thinking feels to you. You can try an example like try to remember how to make a certain recipe, do a certain craft, or a certain task. And feel what that feels like. Try to figure something out in your mind. And for me, those thoughts are very loud, they're very solid, and they're all kind of in the top of my brain here. That's where they settle, because they churn and they work really hard up in the top of my brain. It's very clear to me when brain thinking is occurring, when I'm actively trying to figure something out. So if I have a decision to make and I'm trying to figure out which one to do, that thought, feeling comes from up here. and it's much louder. There are a couple of ways that you can recognize when you are receiving guidance, either from your own inner wisdom or from your spirit guides. And the first is recognizing the difference between thoughts or ideas or impressions that are coming from somewhere else besides your thinking brain. And the second is looking for signs in your daily life that include guidance and the answers that you're looking for. The first, when I do a meditation and I'm looking for guidance, I'm sitting in the meditation and I try to release the active thinking brain as much as possible. And I'll take you through this in the guided meditation. I breathe out, and as I exhale, I just let those thinking thoughts, the active thoughts, float away on my breath. And I try to clear my mind of the active thinking as much as possible. Making it all go away is pretty impossible. If you recognize when you are doing the thinking, that's the important thing. Putting the intention out there, the question out there. I need to make this decision. What do I do? Putting that out there and then waiting. You may receive an answer during the meditation itself. You may receive signs while you're out in your everyday life. It's important to keep a journal with you when you are doing this kind of work, so you can write down the impressions that you receive in the meditation. You can write down signs you receive outside in your everyday life. So back to the meditation part. Look for thought, like impressions, answers that seem to just come out of nowhere. Mine kind of float up from my heart area. That kind of inner wisdom, that extra guidance, it gently floats up from the heart area, kind of like a breeze, a whisper. It feels much quieter, much subtler. Tends to have a feeling of, yes, that's what I needed. You could receive pictures, impressions, feelings. All of those are important to write down after your meditation. You may get a solid answer like, oh, there is this third option that just popped up out of the blue that I didn't even consider, and that's better than the other two options. Or it could be subtler. You get pictures. Then after the meditation, look and be aware in your everyday life for you might see things, phrases repeat themselves over and over again. Words on bulletin boards, words in videos, images that are repetitive, animals you see over and over again, numbers you see over and over again. Those are all clues. If you start noticing synchronicities or repetitiveness, then those are things to write down. That is the way that we receive external information and guidance from our guides. When we were trying to figure out what to name our son, we had this list and we were just, it's a big decision what you name your child. And one day we were out. We had to do a little bit of travel to get to an event. When we were out, this one name popped up at least 6 times. In street names, in event programs, in advertisements, the newspaper that was just sitting there, the name of a city we passed through. It came up over and over and over again. naturally, we figured that was a sign. That's what we named our son. That's kind of how you discover and work with that wisdom. I hope that's been helpful. This takes practice. It takes a lot of time looking within, studying how it feels when you're thinking versus how it feels when information is coming from elsewhere. If you want to strengthen your intuition and your ability to receive these messages, practice it as much as possible. One thing I didn't mention that's also very important is also to be open and receptive. If you're doubtful, you're probably not going to see it. You're probably not going to hear it. So try to be open. Try to release doubts. Try to release thoughts of, I don't think this can happen. Be as receptive as possible. Be open to whatever form the information might take for you. Tomorrow, I'll be posting this guided meditation. Some of the gemstones I'm going to use so you can prepare are angelite, scolecite, fluorite, pink petalite, but I also have here seraphinite. That's really good for it as well. But there are many, many, many gemstones that can help you connect with your spirit guides, with your angel guides. And I'll list more of those in the description for the guided meditation. Celestite, K2 stone, coral. Those are some right off the top of my mind. Angel wing stone. But I'll have a full list in the guided meditation. Thank you for sitting through that very lengthy description of how to meditate for guidance. I hope it's been helpful. Do practice if you are interested in strengthening that ability. If you have any more questions about it, make sure that you place them in the comments or in the comments of the guided meditation video. If you have questions about crystal healing in general that you want me to address in a video, then make sure you put those in the comments as well. But do check the playlist. I have all of these Let's Talk videos in their own playlist with the question in the title. You may have a question that I've already answered, so do check through the playlist, and if I haven't answered it, leave it in a comment below so I can add it to my list. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next weekend.